Meanwhile, it is National Sleep Awareness Week. We saw Brian just a moment ago demonstrating
Yesterday was a meatball day. Yes, thank you.
Actually, today's meatball day, too, but part of the week. If you find yourself tossing and turning at night, you're not alone, because a recent Consumer Reports survey found that 37% of grown-ups who complained about sleep problems at least once a week said they used an over-the-counter or prescription sleep aid in the previous year.
But what should you be aware of before you pop a pill? Here with some important information is Dr. Jennifer Cottle. She's a board-certified family physician and assistant professor of the Rowan School of Osteopathic Medicine. Easy for me to say, right?
There we go. Yes, I love that. I'm an osteopathic family physician, so
that's wonderful.
Medicine.
This is a problem for a lot of people across the world, around the world.
Absolutely.
What do you recommend when it comes to prescription sleeping pills? Do you recommend those?
First of all, as a family physician, I do write sleep medications for some people in some situations. This is a situation where it's not one size fits all. But yes, there are plenty of prescription medicines. You've probably heard of things like Ambien, Lunesta, etc. But they do have side effects. And you really got to be careful. These are not medications that we should be using for long periods of time. And really what it comes down to is finding the right person and matching them with the right medication in the right environment.
And the danger is drowsiness, right? So if you're not going to get 7 to 8 hours sleep and you take a sleeping pill, you're going to get up, you're going to be drowsy, and you're going to drive, perhaps.
Well, so that's the thing, is you've got to take these medications properly if you're prescribed them. Don't take them if you can't get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. That's super important. Also, don't mix them with alcohol. A lot of people think that's okay. It is not okay. And the final thing is, I have some patients that will pop an extra pill just because they felt like the first one didn't work. And you can't do that. So you can't be mixing around with your pills.
Okay.
Super important.
So those are, if you talk to a doctor, there are a lot of people who just say, you know, I haven't been able to sleep this week. I'm going to go down to Walgreens. I'm going to pick up something over the counter like NyQuil or Z-Quil or
Sominex or some of these.
Are they as effective? And obviously probably not as effective as the prescription, but is it something you would recommend?
Well, so this is the thing. A lot of these medications have antihistamines in them, and studies actually are mixed, don't really show that they necessarily help that much. They can have side effects too, and if you take too many, you can get urinary retention, blurred vision, dry mouth, and some people actually feel kind of hungover the next day. They feel kind of groggy and not fully awake. So this is not my first choice at all. To answer your question, no, this is not what I'm recommending people to take, but a lot of people do, and I know that they're marketed for this reason.
And if I don't have a physician that's handy and I need some sleep quickly, I might use some herbal supplements. So chamomile
people use melatonin and valerian root, but the same thing applies there too, guys. The studies don't really back up that they necessarily work better than other things, and they're not necessarily regulated by the Food and Drug Administration. So you've got to be careful with supplements. They can have interactions with your medications. They can have side effects too.
Is a lot of it mental though? Like, I'm going to drink this tea and it's going to help calm me down and put me to sleep. Or you say don't stay on some of these medicines for a long time, but mentally maybe you can't take yourself off of it because you feel like you have to have it to go to sleep?
Is there a placebo effect, which is what you're talking about, that's part of some of this? Perhaps. It's very possible that it is.
Sure.
So what do we do?
So you're like, you can't take anything. I'm not really recommending too much of anything. The biggest thing is environmental stuff. We know that when people change their behavior, it actually works just as well, if not better, than some of these other medications we're talking about.
So you can't watch a movie like Die Hard right up until bedtime and then expect to fall asleep.
Especially some of the sequels are really boring, though.
So we always say use the bedroom for sleep and sex only, which a lot of people are really happy to hear about.
You have a prescription pad for that?
I can have a prescription for that. So you want to keep the bedroom nice and cool and dark and turn off all those beeping and buzzing things, and also making sure that we're not drinking alcohol, eating heavy meals, or exercising right before bed. Those things really help.
Yeah, don't work out right before bed. That's a little bit of a problem.
We don't want you getting on the treadmill and then jumping into bed.
All right, I won't work out then tonight.
All right. Dr. Jennifer Cottle, we thank you very much for joining us. Great advice today.
Thank you.